Hello friends in drama. It is my great pleasure as chairperson of the ADCI DLI Joint Committee, the 6 and 6, to welcome you to the DLI ADCI Playwriting Award Ceremony 2020. We had planned to do this at the All-Ireland One-Act Drama Finals, which was to have been held the first weekend in December, hosted by Ennis Players, in what is one of the highlights of the amateur drama calendar. But alas, with COVID, it was not to be. Now, due to travel restrictions, we from different counties cannot meet up in person. So, for the first time, we are bringing you the award ceremony online. Many thanks to Patrick Kenny for acting as our tech support and bringing it all together. We are honoured to have Jim Colleton, Artistic Director of Fishamble Theatre Company, to open this award ceremony. Jim has directed for the Gaiety, the Abbey, RTE, at the West End, and even on Broadway, and won an Olivier Award in 2016 for Silent. I first encountered Jim many moons ago at the Betty Ann Norton School of Drama as tutor, and have huge admiration for the work that he does, not least in promoting new playwriting. Fishamble describes itself as an Irish theatre company that is passionate about discovering, developing and producing new plays of national importance with a global reach. And that resonates with us on the 6 and 6. It's what we're trying to achieve with this new playwriting award. So who better to speak on the topic? I give you Jim Colleton.
Hello, my name is Jim Colleton. I'm the Artistic Director of Fishamble, the new play company, and I'm absolutely delighted to introduce the announcement of the chosen plays from this very, very special Drama League of Ireland and Amateur Drama Council of Ireland initiative. At Fishamble, we work with new plays and playwrights all the time. We're completely obsessed with new plays, and we support the writers of over 50% of the plays produced on the island of Ireland every year, in fact. So we're always delighted to see other initiatives happening that put playwriting and creating plays for theatre at the centre of them. The past few months have been very challenging, obviously, for all of us who are used to performing and producing and presenting plays. So it's always great when an initiative comes along that celebrates our creativity and encourages people to think about creating work for theatre despite the challenges at the moment. So I was delighted when I heard about this DLI and ADCI initiative. We're a country that's renowned for our playwriting and our theatre and our writers and creativity and ways of thinking creatively and innovatively in general. So I suppose it's no surprise, but certainly very heartening when I heard that the response to this call for plays was so overwhelmingly positive, with 58 people writing plays and submitting them, and that the quality of the plays was so high that it was not possible to whittle them down that much, that there actually are 3 plays chosen as first, second and third, with the first, the main prize winner, receiving a very special prize of a week in the artist retreat in Annaghmakerrick, but also 5 highly commended plays, because the standard was so high. And I hear that as well as plays dealing with the issues with which we're grappling at the moment and the challenges that we're going through, that there are also plays looking to the future and plays of hope and joy. And so it's great that there's been such a range of issues and viewpoints and perspectives that have been explored by those 58 writers. So well done to everyone who submitted a play, well done on writing the play, well done to those whose plays have been chosen. I'm absolutely honoured and delighted to introduce the announcement of the chosen plays and wish everyone involved all the very best in your theatrical endeavours in the coming months and years, when hopefully we'll all be seeing each other in person again. So congratulations to everyone involved. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. The DLI ADCI Playwriting Award is now in its 4th year and is going from strength to strength. The idea was to encourage new writing so that there would be fresh material for the one-act circuit. In its current format, it was the brainchild of Walker Ewart, who came to the 6 and 6 Joint Committee with a proposal that he would chair a panel with representation from DLI and ADCI, where work would be assessed and feedback given to the writers. And so it was set up. Sean Corcoran represented ADCI, Anne McAteeran represented DLI, Walker chaired. What a talented team. Many thanks to them for all their work, and to Tricia Keane, who has replaced Sean Corcoran this year. Part of the criteria for the award is that the play would be adjudicated before any of the performances, so the assessment was purely on the writing. Congratulations to the 3 previous winners, Alice Lynch, Liam Howard and Maeve de Broom, whose work has added to the pot of plays and possibilities. This year, the One Act Circuit could not go ahead, unfortunately, but the 6 and 6 Joint Committee decided to go ahead with the competition anyway to promote new writing. However, we wondered if there would be many entries. We were blown away with the response, which was a mammoth task for the adjudicating panel, but well done to them on that. It was wonderful to think of all that creativity going on during lockdown, like Santa's elves bringing us plays for Christmas and for the time to come. Next up, we have Aidan Reedy, President of ADCI and a fellow Kerryman. Aidan served on the 6 and 6 for many years, has a great interest in amateur drama and is always a pleasure to deal with. He was chairperson of ADCI before the current chairperson, Michael Johnson, who sends his best wishes. Now, over to Aidan.
Thank you, Joanne. It is a great pleasure for me, as President of the Amateur Drama Council of Ireland, to represent our Chairman, Michael Johnston, at this very important virtual results ceremony. ADCI is delighted to be co-sponsor of the playwriting competition, along with the DLI through the 6 and 6 Committee. It is fitting that the original writing, which has supported so many groups in the One Act Circuit, is recognised in this way. In a year when so much was put on hold, and when the amateur drama festival movement came to a temporary halt, how great it was for all of us that there was something positive in the playwriting competition. From a usual entry of 8 or 9 plays annually, it is overwhelming and very good news that we had 58 entries this year. The criterion which asked for entries for those plays being performed on the circuit in the current year was removed. This allowed for more writers to send in their work, and I hear from the panel that the COVID crisis encouraged those who had been actors and directors to try their hand at writing, which proves that even in trying times, creativity will come to the fore. So it has been a great mix of those who have been writing for a while and those new writers. And for groups, a chance to present some of their new writing in the One Act festivals, which, please God, will see a return next year. I'd like to thank all of you who went to the competition. I wish you well, and I look forward to seeing your work on stage. Before I finish, on behalf of the ADCI, I must thank and congratulate our panel of judges, Anne McAterian, Trish Keane and Walker Ewart, for their Trojan work. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Walker Ewart, who has been involved with the amateur drama circuit for 40 years as director, actor, tutor and adjudicator. He's done it all. He was chairman of the Association of Ulster Drama Festivals. He's adjudicated at the All-Ireland One Act Finals, the All-Ireland Confined Full-Length Finals and the All-Ireland Finals in Athlone. And he is always courteous, eloquent and helpful, whether it's acting, writing, directing. His commitment to the Playwriting Award adjudication has been big over the last few years, and he has conducted it with aplomb, no matter what's going on in his life. Walker has a great way with words, and we owe him a huge debt of gratitude. Now let's hear what he has to say.
In a year that will be remembered for many reasons, the unprecedented response to the playwriting competition will live long in the memory of the judging panel. There were 58 plays entered, 52 playwrights, 31 men, 20 women, and 1 man and woman team. As well as the cities of Dublin and Belfast, the following counties were represented: Counties Antrim, Cavan, Galway, Kerry, Kildare, Laois, Leitrim, Longford, Meath, Tipperary, Westmeath, Wexford and Wicklow. The competition encourages seasoned and newer playwrights, and this year the vast majority of entrants took the opportunity to tell us about themselves and talk about why they chose their play. There is no doubt that the pandemic allowed some actors and directors to try their hand at writing a play with no little success. From the members of two writing groups in Wexford and Wicklow, through those who were sharing their writing for the first time with anyone, very tentatively, to the failed rock star, father of three and candidate for midlife crisis sufferer, the writers were as varied as the content of the plays. There were plays on COVID, of course, and they will provide a useful perspective in the future of what we've lived through. The other themes dealt with were love and relationships between family and lovers alongside changing mores, the historical abuse of children and unmarried mothers and how to deal with the past, the exploration of domestic abuse and the repercussions it has in a family, real historical people and events, dealing with change and loss, misconceptions of those with dementia or those who find that they are homeless. There was extremely innovative writing, along with some Pinterest type plays, which will provide a wonderful challenge to groups in the future. It's hard in a competition to talk about winners and losers, because nobody failed. In addition to the top 3 plays, and the 5 plays awarded highly commended status, and the panel decided to restrict that number to make sure that it meant something and was of value, there are at least 15 other plays which are performance ready immediately, and the same number which, with a few changes, will provide a rich resource for groups in years to come. At this juncture, I need to mention my fellow panel members. Anne Mkhitaryan, representing DLI, has been a panel member along with me for this past 4 years. Tricia Keane, representing ADCI, was in the panel for the first time this year and had a real baptism through fire, which she met tremendously well. The 3 of us worked assiduously, and my colleagues were a consistent and constant support. Marking blind, when we came together, on Zoom of course, it was astonishing and heartening that we were agreed on the top plays, and with but a few exceptions, our placings and marks were very similar. We genuinely loved your plays. We loved the characters you created, who were very memorable and in some cases very lovable. And there were some plays which we immediately wanted to act in or to direct ourselves. A more detailed analysis will be published in the next DLI magazine, along with more details of future plans which Joanne will touch on later. This year's competition provides the opportunity for groups to perform new writing by new writers, with contemporary themes and people, places and situations that they and the audience will recognise. These plays, along with the standards and new discoveries from other places, will enhance the one-act circuit and excite audiences for years to come. And I even predict that some will justifiably become classics in their own right. Thank you to all the playwrights, the class of 2020, which made the panel's work hard but gave us so much enjoyment. At a period where there was at times bleakness, the beacon of your creativity shone through, and it proves that no matter what is thrown at us, the creativity and the arts will survive and will continue to flourish. Thank you all, and I wish you the very best in your writing in the future.
Thank you, Walker. With such a variety of new plays, there's a great opportunity to use a selection as part of a development outreach programme and work with professional tutors to explore the work and perhaps bring it to performance level, all in cooperation with the writers. As DLI acts as agent in Ireland for publishing agencies such as Weinberger and playwrights such as John B. Keane, Sam Cree, Michael Joe Ganelli, and has published a few books of one-act plays, they will be able to offer guidance and assistance in the route to publishing plays, and Valerie in the office is available to answer any queries. Efforts will be made to secure funding with the Arts Council to help develop the work and bring it to wider audiences. Ollie Kenny is the hard-working secretary of the 6 and 6 Joint Committee and vice chair of DLI. Give a busy man a job. Ollie has been a dynamo liaising with the festivals and has been in frequent contact with Walker throughout the adjudicating process for this writing award. I now call on Ollie to let you know the top 8, the highly recommended plays from which there will be 2 runners-up and 1 winner. Over to you, Ollie.
Thank you, Joanne. And good evening, everybody, and welcome to Backstage Theatre in Longford, from where we'll be announcing the 8 shortlisted playwrights for this year's competition, the DLI ADCI Playwriting Competition 2020. Before I start, I'd like to compliment my colleagues on the DLI ADCI Joint Committee for deciding to go ahead with this year's competition. Because the one act circuit was cancelled, we decided eventually that we would run the competition, and the fact that we had 58 entries is a real testament that it was a very good decision to make, and I must compliment my colleagues in that committee for deciding to go ahead with that competition. It gave people in the theatre world a chance to express themselves, and it was a good decision, and we're delighted that we went ahead with it. I'd also like to compliment our judging panel, Chairman Walker Ewart, ably assisted by Anne McAterian and Tricia Keane, had an enormous amount of work to do, going through 58 scripts. Each of them went through the 58 scripts individually, where they had to analyse them and come up with the shortlist that I will be presenting to you in a couple of minutes, as well as coming up with the eventual, with the winners. So, a big thank you to the judging panel. We are deeply indebted to them and extremely grateful, and they've done an absolutely wonderful job over the past couple of months. It was a huge task that they had to undertake, and we're deeply, deeply grateful to them for the amount of work that they put in. And as always, this work is done on a voluntary basis. So well done to them in coming up with our shortlist and with the winners. We thank them most sincerely. So I'll start with the list of playwrights that have been shortlisted for this year's award, and in no particular order. First up is Frank Houlihan. Frank is a member of Inside Theatre Group since 1994. 2 years ago, he moved back to his hometown in Tralee, and he established a drama group called High Brasil Tralee Players. Frank has been quietly writing for a while, as he said himself, and this autumn he intended to bring a play on the one act circuit. So instead he entered the play into this competition. The play is The Centipede. Earlier this year, he finished writing 7 short plays to be staged in a coffee shop setting. The collection is called Strong Coffee. Recently, he finished a one-act play called Fred Astaire. This is a gentle but dark piece. So, Frank's entry this year is The Centipede. The judging panel's comments are: conceived as the writer walked the Portuguese Camino, the concept conveyed through 2 sisters who share a secret is that if you are half right, you're also half wrong. So there is lyricism and a rhythm to the language, which becomes an unbearable and horrific tension as the revenge for the past deed is revealed. Next up, we have Niall Hunter. Niall was born in Dublin. He's a journalist. He moved to County Wexford in 2014, and in 2015 he joined Crugraney Drama Group. He is lucky enough to have acted in 3 All-Ireland finals to date, and he has also been in a number of musicals with Gorey and Avonmore musical societies. His work on stage inspired him to write this play, and he now has 2 3-act plays and 5 one-act plays. Niall's entry is Fellini's Damnation, of which the judging panel say. The characters in this play are beautifully observed. The difference between the 2 women, Rose and Kitty, and the effect both have on Ray are well presented in the quality of the dialogue, the quality of the exchanges, and the shared jokes and malapropisms in the first scene between Ray and Rose endear the audience to both characters. The different registers of language are dealt with in a very effective manner. The premise for the original idea of the play is he's a dead dog on a beach on which the play has been built, and it's produced a good drama. Next up is Peter Trant. Peter started his life out in Donegal before moving to Clones in County Monaghan. He emigrated to London in the early 1970s, and he remained there until moving back to Monaghan 18 years ago. He has performed in several productions with Drumlin Players, and he's performed in the Rammerhill Theatre in Virginia, in the Garage Theatre in Monaghan, and in the Aentis Theatre in Castleblaney. He wrote and directed his first play, The Cowboys, for the Revenant Theatre Company, and this was first performed in 2017 and 18 in the Garage Theatre in Monaghan and in the Rammerhill Theatre in Virginia. In March 2018, he brought the play out in the full-length circuit, and it took part in Castleblaney, Shercock and Mid-Ulster Drama Festivals. So, Peter's play is Champions. The play and the judging panel's comments are: the play is set in London in the June weekend of 1985, where the Clonus Cyclone Barry McGuigan challenged successfully for the World Featherweight boxing title. It reminds the audience of the changing mores in the last few decades, as the teams covered age-old situations: unwanted pregnancies, the rights of the father, the barstool philosopher, and the long-suffering barman provide a colourful backdrop to the relationships within the play. Next up is Longford native Dermot McGuinness, and glad to say Dermot has been involved in amateur theatre on and off for the past 8 years. Former member of Backstage Theatre Group, he also took part in Canal Studio productions here in Backstage. He also acted for Trim Drama Group and Navan Theatre Group. This is his first play, and as he says himself, his first attempt at any form of writing. So his hope is that it will be the first of many. The judging panel said of Dermot's play, which is In the Pale Moonlight, a play in which the balance of mystery, comedy, true friendship, sibling, family relationships, and are examined with great articulation. The relationships are well drawn and believable with natural dialogue. The two friends have a good relationship, and the monologues tell us much about their histories. The introduction of the supernatural element, both in the witness killing of a brother and at the end of the play, brings a chill to the action. Our next highly commended and shortlisted playwright is Irene Kelleher. Irene is well known to us on the drama circuit, having taken part in the one-act and full-length circuit on many occasions. Irene is a professional playwright and performer from Cork. She has written 4 plays. Mary and Me was her first play, and this was won many awards around country and went international as well. Her next play, Gone Full Havisham, was performed in the DLI Summer School in 2019 before she took it out to the Edinburgh Fringe Festival, again where she won many awards. Her third play, The Misfit Mythology, is another award-winning play by Irene, and her 4th play is a full-length comedy, A Sunday in September, which was performed in 2019, in the summer of 2019, by her beloved drama group, Kilmeen Drama Group. She has a strong affection for Kilmeen for several reasons, and she started out her performances there on the full length and on the one-act circuit, taking part in 3 All-Ireland winning productions, A Whistle in the Dark, Disco Pigs, and The Playboy of the Western World. The circuit, and especially Kilmeen, holds a special place in her heart, and indeed that's where she met her husband Dennis as well. Our final 3 playwrights have something unusual in common, in that they're all from the same drama group, or have at least been members of the same drama group. Frida Donoghue is a member of Millrace Drama Group in County Cavan and has been writing for several years. Her debut play, The First Punk in Oldcastle, was performed by Millrace in the one-act circuit in 2015. In 2016, her second play, Wish You Were Here, was performed also on the one-act circuit. The First Punk of Oldcastle was rewritten for radio. Her short plays have featured in Coot Hill Arts Festival in 2018 and 19, Cavan Arts Festival in 2018, and as recently as July this year in the Treat on the Street in Mulla in County Cavan. Her play is Locked In, and of that play the judging panel said, "This play encapsulates very well the restrictions placed on everyone by COVID and the tensions which can ensue when people are trapped together. Written very sensitively, the relationships between the characters and the various tensions, sometimes through recognisable humour, are well drawn. There is a problem to be faced with a mother who is becoming forgetful, and a shocking revelation for the daughter who, because of COVID, had to stay with her parents. Next up is Catherine McKiernan. Catherine lives in Mulla in County Cavan. She was a founder member of Mill Race Drama Group in Mulla and has taken part in a number of her productions. She set up the Moogles Theatre Group with the objective to promote and produce new writing and to take theatre to those who cannot get to theatre. The Moogles have successfully taken part in the one-act circuit in recent years, and in all, Catherine has written 23 plays to date. Her biding wish for 2021 is to sit in the theatre and experience the tingle of excitement as the curtain rises. Indeed, we can all look forward, or hopefully we can look forward to that, because we've been missing our theatre very badly, as we know. So, last but by no means least, we have Sarah McKenna Dunn. Sarah is from Virginia in County Cavan. Yes, she is a member of Mill Race Drama Group in Mulla for several years. Earlier this year, she had the first play published in an anthology of LGBTQ+ literature after receiving a short bursary from the International Dublin Gay Theatre Festival. And she says that the DLI ADCI Playwriting competition offered a wonderful opportunity to revisit an old play. So, that's the 8 shortlisted playwrights and their submissions. And now the top 3 plays will be chosen from that shortlist. So, without any further ado, I'll hand you over to Aidan Reedy. Aidan is president of the ADCI, and Aidan will announce to you the second runner-up in this year's playwriting competition. Thank you.
The second runner-up in the DLI ADCI Playwriting Competition 2020 is Champions by Peter Trant. The judging panel said, "The characters are well observed, the exchanges between them are natural and map out jealousies, the influence of others on our lives and real-life tensions. There are moments of relaxation and confrontation. There are quiet moments and highly charged moments. In the end, we sympathise strongly with Aisling and her dilemma." Congratulations, Peter. Thank you.
Thank you, Aidan, and congratulations to Peter Trant. Now I'm going to pass you over to Joanne Keane, Chairperson of the Joint Committee, the ADCI DLI Joint Committee, who will announce the runner-up to this year's competition.
And the first runner-up is Centipede by Frank Houlihan. Congratulations, Frank.
Thank you, Joanne, and my sincere congratulations to Frank. Before I announce the winner of this year's competition, I'd like to congratulate everybody who contributed to the 58 entries that we had. The standard, as said by previous speakers, is really excellent and really very high this year. And we all look forward to seeing some and possibly even all of those plays out in the one-act circuit, not just in the coming year, but in years to come. DLI will act as agent for any of the playwrights that are interested in doing so. And if you want DLI to act as your agent, just get in touch with the office. So, to the climax of the DLI ADCI Playwriting Competition 2020. It is my honour and pleasure to announce that the judging panel made a unanimous decision, and I'd like to announce that the winner of this year's competition is Irene Kelleher. Irene's play was called A Safe Passage, and the judging panel's comment, again, on this play are, taking place in a lighthouse on New Year's Eve, this is a flawless piece of writing. The dialogue has an ebb and flow with effective introductions of pauses, beats and sound effects. We get to know the two characters well, although a woman retains this sense of mystery. Is she or isn't she? There are moments of great tension, deftly balanced by comic relief. The ghostiness of the action is well plotted. We care about these characters, in particular for Christy, the lighthouse keeper. The feeling of being stranded and cut off from the rest of the world is strong. The memories of the past and the mystery of the present add much to the atmosphere. My sincere congratulations to Irene, and now I pass you over to Irene, who would like to say a few words.
Hi! I just want to leave a short thank you message because I am absolutely over the moon to have my play selected. You have basically saved 2020 for me, which is no mean feat. I am so thrilled, and I want to say a huge thank you to the ADCI and DLI, and of course the three judges, Walker, Anne and Trisha. I am just so honoured and delighted that you liked my play and that you saw something in it and believed in it, and I am really hoping to see it produced by one of the groups at some stage. That would absolutely be a dream come true. The play came out of this year, obviously, which was a very tough year, but I think after what we've all been through this year, we're going to come back stronger next year, and I am really looking forward to seeing some of the other brilliant plays that were in this competition as well produced on the festival circuit. I know there were some outstanding plays by brilliant writers, and I just can't wait to be back in an audience and supporting. The one act is very close to my heart. I absolutely love going to it every year. It's been very important to me since about Ennis 2011. So to have the play selected is just a dream come true, and I know this year's been very tough, but I really think we're going to come back fighting next year, and the things that we learned from this year is going to influence our work, and that when we are back on stage it's going to be magic. So thank you so much. You've made a Cork. Oh, I should have said that I'm from Cork. I was meant to say that, but I'd say you figured it out by this stage. And I know there were plays from all over the country, so I can't wait, as I said, to see these plays spring into action on stage. So yes, from this Cork girl you have made extremely happy, I just want to say thank you all so much. This is an award ceremony in 2020. I have the Christmas lights up, so I'm celebrating. And cheers to everybody. I hope you all have a fantastic Christmas, and let's ring out 2020 and ring in a much better and more theatrical 2021. Thanks again. Bye.
Well done to the winner, the runners-up, the highly commended, and indeed all the entrants in this year's Playwriting Award. It's great to hear that the standard was so high. And thanks again to the adjudicating panel, Walker, Anne and Trisha. Fintan O'Toole said Jim Culleton's work with new playwrights had detonated a controlled explosion of fresh talent. Well, we've certainly seen an explosion of fresh talent here, and we'd love to see it continue. The prize, sponsored by the ADCI DLI 6 and 6 Joint Committee, is a writing week at the Tyrone Guthrie Centre in Anamacrig, County Monaghan. Hope it's an enjoyable, productive and inspiring week for you, Irene. Finally, we look forward to seeing the plays come to life, whether workshopped, online or on stage, and hopefully we'll see a few of them in the 1X circuit next year, and maybe in the finals in Ennis, all going well. Any of you thinking of writing? Do. It gives us hope, and we look to a future when we can get together and play.